This week, NASCAR heads to the great state of South Carolina for Throwback Weekend. This is the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway. I'm Robert Young, and welcome to the NASCAR Darlington edition of the Hivecast. Coming up, Jon and I recap the race at Kansas, give a preview of Darlington, and look at some of the throwback schemes for this weekend. Join me again this week is fellow NASCAR fan Jon Newton. Welcome back to the show, Jon.
Thank you for having me here.
Alright, and now let's just dive into our first topic, which is a recap of the Kansas race. Now, all throughout the race, there were lead changes back and forth, but the most exciting part of the race has to be the finish. Your thoughts about the finish?
I thought it was a pretty good, hard-fought battle, which resulted into one car getting into the wall. Which, when I thought about it, I'm on Denny Hamlin's side here. It looked like Larson got into the wall, then Larson tried to come down and block him, and mistimed it. Like, he kind of spun off of Denny. He tried to overcorrect it, send it to 5 into the wall. Yeah,
and I think the announcers actually said right before he spun that he was getting a little loose in the turn 1 and turn 2, so that might have done something with it too.
Now, post-race, an altercation happened between Noah Gragson and Ross Chastain.
Yeah, oh boy. Can you go 1 week, Ross, without causing another controversy?
Well, it wasn't controversial. It was right out there on the table. Well, you might be wondering what happened. Well, during the race, it looked like Chastain kind of squeezed Gragson into the wall. I don't know if there was miscommunication between Chastain and the spotter or what, but after the race, Gragson kind of gets up at him, like grabbed his shoulder, and they started talking about it. Well, Chastain swung, led into a fight, and the only thing that happened really was Chastain swinging, and after that, they quickly got broke up. Future penalties, will there be a penalty? I don't know. What you think about that?
I don't think that there will be a penalty for this because I'm actually on Ross Chastain's side for once. That Noah Gragson was actually the instigator in this case because you grab a man by the collar or the shirt, you're indicating that you're getting ready to fight. Right. So Ross Chastain, I think that was just natural defense kicking in.
That was. Then obviously that would upsets fan base, but whose side are you on? Noah Gragson's or Ross Chastain's?
Let us know in the comments.
Now, anyways, moving from the Midwest, let's head to the closest track to us, Darlington Raceway, for Throwback Weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Now, this track has been around since, 1950, I believe?
It's one of the oldest tracks on the NASCAR circuit, and has a unique layout with an egg shape in 3 and 4, which is tighter than turns 1 and 2. Due to having they reset it, they had to tighten it up due to a lake nearby.
Yeah, but that setup, that layout really is a fun one to watch because it is so tough for the drivers to come. They come headed to the corner, then they come out of the corner. If they aren't careful, they'll smack the wall.
Right, giving the track the nickname Too Tough to Tame.
Or the Lady in Black, due to the black marks on the side of the wall.
Now, with it being Throwback Weekend, what are some things that we need to look out for?
Well, especially the paint schemes that a lot of these teams are going to roll out. Some of them, we should go over them right now.
But real quick before we get into that, who do you think we should watch out for to end up in victory lane?
Oh, it's time for the pick. All right. So I'm going to go and place a bet on the previous winner, Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin. All right. Very solid pick, but I'm going to go with William Byron.
William Byron? Okay.
Byron was there in it, then just punted on the final corner of the final lap last year by Joey Logano.
Yeah. He wasn't too happy about that.
But this year I say that it's not going to happen again, and Byron's going to lead to take on the checkered flag in Darlington.
Yeah, and I know that Denny Hamlin has won. He's probably the most winningest driver at Darlington out of the current drivers. So, and with this momentum that he gained from winning at Kansas, I think he will do it again.
Now, anyways, let's jump into some of the throwback paint schemes for this week. Kicking off with Mr. Controversy himself, Ross Chastain.
Yeah, his Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet, giving a throwback to Mr. Dale Jarrett with the UPS Worldwide Express car.
Now, I personally like this paint scheme a lot. One of my favorites that is being revealed so far.
Yeah, I mean, it is it's very true to the original, and the fact that they actually got UPS on the car after years of absence.
I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's a 7 out of 10 for me as well.
Now we go into the number 4 car of Kevin Harvick.
I mean, I get where they were going with this one, and I like the colors, but it's just, executed kind of horribly.
Right, I'll give you that. It's a very good paint scheme, but the execution kind of hurts a lot. Good, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be 5 out of 10. But the next one, Chase Elliott's number 9. Do we need to really say anything about this?
It's very simplistic, but to prove that complicated is not always better, that sometimes simple is better. I'm giving it 8 out of 10, throwing back to his dad's 2003 car.
Yep, Ray. Nice to see the Ray Everham number 9 back on the track. All right, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. This is one of my favorites.
Now we have
to Eric Almirola's number 10, giving a throwback to Mr. Everybody Loves Him, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I would say everybody there.
Well, not everybody, but you get what I mean.
But
an old baseball throwback, mind you. That is a very unique paint scheme. Revealed at a baseball field. I don't know which one. If you guys know, let us know in the comments. But
very overall solid 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, that is a very good paint scheme. Then it's Ryan. Then up next, Ryan Blaney in the number 12, throwing it back to his father, one of his father's old sprint cars. Yes,
which to me it looks like your typical Ryan Blaney every week in, week out.
I mean, the way that they made it, it looks like that. I understand he's throwing it back to his father, but I mean, nothing really too eye-catching to see. Move along.
5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say 5. Then Chase Briscoe's number 14. I mean, as a design, this works great. The flames on the side give me Jeff Gordon vibes all day.
Yeah, very solid. My favorite, actually, I would say so far, with a good 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I will give that one credit where it's due. If it's not, I may not be 10 out of 10 for me, but it's 9.9.
Then we head into Christopher Bell's number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing throwback. Throw him out to Matt Kenseth of all people.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good throwback because I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was his championship scheme back in 2003.
Is Joe Gibbs trying to hint that Christopher Bell's going to win the championship? I don't know.
But a good way to keep it going with the wall.
But 6.5 out of 10.
Then there's Harrison Burton in the number 21 Wood Brothers car, throwing it back to his father, Jeff Burton. And this one, I will say, it looks a lot like the original. Props to Dex Imaging for changing the color of their logo for it. Not all companies do that.
But with that, I mean, it's all right. But
yeah, but it's something that we kind of expect him to do. It's
right.
Yeah, so I'd say, design looks okay. I'd say probably 6 out of 10.
5.4 out of 10.
All right, now this one. This is going back into history. Joey Logano's number 22. Throwback to Mark Donahue.
Ooh. And that red, white, and blue.
Throwing it back to their American Motor Company days.
Right, with the red, white, and blue Pennzoil number 22. I like the font. I like the color scheme. Like I said with Chase Elliott's paint scheme, simple.
Yeah.
Better. Very good. 8 out of 10.
I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. That's a very good one.
Now we head with who I believe is going to win this race, William Byron's Jeff Gordon throwback.
Yep, number 24. It's a gold paint scheme. I don't actually remember seeing this car race, but I'm sure that it happened sometime.
But with that, it's a very good paint scheme. I say it's your complicated, simplistic.
Yeah,
paint
I mean,
schemes.
And it's gold. How can you go wrong with gold?
Right.
So I'd give it a 6.5.
8.
8? All right. Now, This one is one that I haven't seen yet, but it's new. Todd Gilliland, number 38, Front Row Motorsports. He's throwing it back to Elton Sawyer, out of all people.
Ooh,
That's-
very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Oh wait, I do remember at one point Elton Sawyer did run the 38, but it's not something that you would expect to see.
Right.
I know that Elton Sawyer is important in the NASCAR, board of operations or whatever, but
Right.
it's I mean the design looks pretty nice.
It's a solid blue paint scheme.
with red and white stripes.
Which you can't go wrong with. I'm going.
I'll give it a 7.5.
I agree with that. 17. Now we headed to Ryan Preece.
I understand what he was doing with his father, but I mean, it worked. I mean, it's a good homage, but the design, it's just blank. It's just a blank car, blank white. I'll give it a. I'll be generous with the father reference. I'll give it back. I'll give it a probably 4.5.
I'm saying a 4.
A 4. Okay. Now this one.
Is very interesting.
This one is a throwback to one of Jimmy Johnson's old paint schemes.
And it is by no other than Noah Gragson.
Yep, and the number 42. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with red, white, and blue, and in fact, they even changed the 42 to yellow to match the former 48. That works very well.
And I'm going with a very solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. Then it's Eric Jones in the number 43.
Which this paint scheme actually changed to the classic Richard Petty STP 43 to his solid blue, Petty blue 43, which, for those of you who have seen the Cars movie, The King, which is kind of like, I would say, throwing back the
Yeah.
hero, which is what the car looks like.
It kind of looks like that, but in the form of a next-gen car.
Throwing back the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I will respect that, but, I also kind of feel that it's blank. It's, like with Ryan Preece's paint scheme, it's kind of blank, but the blue gives it extra points. I'll give it a 7.5.
I'm giving it a good 9.9.
All right. Now, next up, Tyler Reddick, who is actually going to be throwing it back to Kurt Busch.
Oh, actually, I think they're throwing it back to Kurt Busch's car, which he threw back to
at
last
Darlington.
year.
Yeah, at Darlington when he nearly won that race.
Yes. Now I'm going with a very good paint scheme. I like the gray, silver on the hood.
And I really like the fact that they put KB on the hood instead of just like a different sponsor. It's actually referencing Kurt Busch.
Then you have the red with the McDonald's with like part of the black for like Monster Energy creeping.
Yeah, I think in this case the black actually complements the paint scheme instead of other points where it kind of interferes.
Good 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, 9.5 on that one. Now this one, I will give them credit for the Dale Jarrett paint throwback. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. number 47. But the one thing that kills it for me is the Kroger on the front, on the hood. Nah.
Now that you point that out, it's just a pain.
Yeah, it's just a pain. If they were wanting to do something like that, why not have Country Crock? I'll give Country Crock credit for having their colors like that.
Yes.
But if they really wanted to make it a bit unique, remove the Kroger, just put Country Crock on there, be done with it.
But I'm going with a good. I'll give it benefit of the doubt, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
Now.
Then next up is Alex Bowman, throwing it back to
Josh Berry.
Or Josh Berry, throwing it back to Kevin Hamlin, who was Bowman's spotter.
Which I love this paint scheme.
It's a very good point. It's a very good paint scheme.
The red, the white, the black, with the gold number on it, you cannot go wrong. Perfect. A perfect 10 out of 10 for me.
Actually,
no, a 10.1 out of 10.
10.1 out of 10. Very good paint scheme. I will agree with you on that. And I can kind of get where they were getting with it, but it's a very good paint scheme overall. I'll give it a 9.9.
What you say we go look at some of the Xfinity series?
Well, there's still a few more in the Cup Series though. We've got Ty Gibbs, number 54, throwing it back to Bobby Labonte's 1996 throwback, her car that introduced Joe Gibbs' induction into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Ooh, and I feel like the red with like the gold on it with the white number, is that a Shriners?
Yeah, that is the Shriners organization right there.
I saw his car last year in the Xfinity series, and that car looked very good at Darlington. Albeit it being an Xfinity car, I don't know how well it'll look on the Cup car. But there's one thing I wish they would have done. They would have made like a gold number instead of the white to kind of help with the Shriners colors.
Yeah, but I mean, I get why they kept it with white, because the old 18 used to have that white as well. So that I can respect them for that. That'd be a 8.
An 8.
And then finally, Daniel Suarez, number 99, Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet. Throwback to Ricky Rudd in the Quaker State car.
Yes, and that green with the white and then the gold stripe there.
Yes, and sure, maybe at a different number, but it is almost the same car. I understand. I am a little bit disturbed at the white and the white being a little bit more up than on the 26, but you know it works. It's fine. It's very good by me. I'll give it a 9.5.
I'll give it an 8.
You'll give it an 8?
Now let's move on to the Xfinity Series, kicking off with
Cole Custer throwing back to Jason Leffler, left turn, and I think it was the one that he actually won his first race in.
And well, I feel like it's kind of a bland paint scheme.
Yeah.
No, you had the white and the silver with the white with the red stripe.
Yeah, I honestly like the Net Zero one a whole lot better.
Right. The red and the silver there toward the back, then just the white up front for like half of it. I feel like that hurts, so you put more red and silver in there, and it's very good.
Yeah, I'll give that I'll give it a 7.
I'll give it a 6.
And now we can cover this one. This one, Sam Myers throwing back to Kurt Busch, his old Sharpie Ford.
Ooh, and don't let no one tell you that this paint scheme does not look good. It is amazing. I
really give credit to Accelerate for changing their logo and font to match the Sharpie.
And I can't get over with how good this paint scheme is. I say it's easily my top 5 favorites overall.
Yeah.
And a good
I'll
7
give
out
it,
of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.5. Now, let's see. Well, first of all, I think we can talk about this one. Josh Berry, we already mentioned him. In the Xfinity Series, he's driving number 8, throwback to Hutch Strickland.
Ooh, and
old Circuit City car.
And I say that car kind of reminds me more of a Dale Earnhardt type of
Yeah, it does. It does look a whole lot more like it, but I mean, if it weren't for the fact that this looks very similar to the Circuit City car from long ago.
Right. I'm saying a good 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
How about we go to the Truck Series now?
Well, actually, before we go to the Truck Series, I want to show you two more from the Xfinity Series. First, this one from Ryan Ellis, a throwback to Kevin Harvick's Quicksilver throwback scheme.
Ooh. And that is a very amazing, good paint scheme.
And I like the way that Keen Parts changed their logo to look more like GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. All right.
Now let's go to the Truck Series.
One more. It's this one. Matt Mills, number 53, throwback in the Herbie.
Ooh. I like the Herbie, but
I mean, I know that it gives a throwback feel, but I mean, it's a very good paint scheme. Props to them for remembering that character. And then we'll
do 2 of the Truck Series.
Yeah, 2 more in the Truck Series. Let's see. We got to cover this one. Carson Hocevar, number 42, Nice Motorsports Chevrolet. Throwback to Dale Jarrett once again with UPS on the car, but it's the flaming one.
Very good, solid 10 out of 10.
All right, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
What's our final paint scheme? Let's do the 43.
Wait, no. Let's do this one.
Okay, Lawless Allen's number 45 Nice Motorsports. Throwback to Adam Petty of all people.
Yeah. And I know that he ain't connected with Petty GMS, but I will give them. This is very good reference.
It is, and with that overall, just the different colors on it and the fonts, it's a good 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I will say that this is a good homage to Adam Petty. By the way, R.I.P.
All right, that is it for the Darlington. That is it for the throwbacks for this weekend at Darlington Raceway.
Now, but before we leave this topic, which one was your favorite?
I'm going to go with the Quicksilver car in the Xfinity Series of Ryan.
All right, I can get behind that pick. So, As for me, I think I'd give it to... I think I would end up giving it to I will say that I gotta give it to the number 9 Chevrolet. Because it's simple, but it is effective in the fact that was Bill Elliott's paint scheme for, I don't know exactly, not just his, but Casey Kane for a little while. So it's a memorable paint scheme, and I really like that.
All right.
And then now, John, if people want to find you on YouTube, how can they do that?
You can search up JON space NEWTON in the search bar.
Yeah, all right. And also, when you go do that, make sure to check out his most recent last lap reaction at Kansas.
And the race review.
Yep. All right. It was a play. All right. Thanks for coming on the show, John. Pleasure to have you here. Breaking news, the return of Rocket Man, up next on the Hivecast. Now it's time for a midweek update. Former NASCAR driver Ryan Newman will return to the Cup Series for a part-time schedule with Rick Ware Racing. He hasn't been in the Cup Series since 2021 when he was driving for Roush Fenway Racing. But he has been driving in the SRX Series with many other racing legends. But he has returned and will race at Darlington this week in the 51 Ford Mustang. Welcome back, Ryan. But now, let's talk about something else for a minute. I am sad to say that this will be my last Hivecast here at Buford High School. With the seniors' last day being next Tuesday, I will be unable to make any more. But this doesn't mean that I am done with creating podcasts. I plan to create my own podcast about NASCAR sometime in the near future. I also hope that I can join the Hivecast from time to time as a guest star. I am very excited to see what John Newton has in store for y'all. I want to thank Mr. Collier, Mr. Knight, and the rest of the Stinger staff for the opportunity to start something great. Keep up the great work. Overall, I am very grateful for the time I have had here at Buford High School. I want to thank all of the BHS staff. You all taught me what it means to be an ideal Buford graduate. I especially want to thank Major Cato, Sergeant Marcano, and the entire Buford JROTC program. You not only taught me in your classroom, but you also gave me memories that I will never forget. I had a great time being a part of the JROTC archery team. Good luck in Kentucky, guys! And finally, I want to thank my father for being such a good man. You worked hard every day so that I could have a chance at life. Both you and my mother fought hard to get me a good education and to ensure that I would graduate. I cannot thank you enough for all of the hard work you have done for me. This would not be possible without all of your help. Above all else, thank you. I'm Robert Young for one final time saying, crank it up, boys, let's go racing!